Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on May 10th, 2023, surveying some damage from bunnies, possums. We don't know exactly, but we know we've seen the bunnies in and out of here. They had gone to the farthest end of this row of carrots, farther from the dogs and us, and they've been raiding the carrots. Here's a big, thick one that if chewed the top of the carrot out. They couldn't pull it out and got the top part of it chewed off there. There's a few in here that looks like they're a little stressed on this end. Definitely signs of critters pulling some of them out down further at the end here. We just did a little more weeding here. The carrots are looking better down here, this end of the row. Some of them are getting really big, really healthy here, and they're getting prepped for harvest. We've done some fertilization, put some compost out. They get frequent waterings. This looks like a pretty big one right here. I think I'm going to take it out, making a carrot cake here. All right, so we've got other rows of carrots in here. Pretty much two big ones between the blackberry rows. Other rows down here have fresh red mammoth beet seed in them, and all these pots, well, hibiscus sabdarifa, and then there's a row right down here that's got the white tupelo. All right, so over here, more carrots. Several rows and rows of carrots. Different varieties. These are thriving down here. Look at these carrots. They've been weeded. We've got garlic growing between some of the rows of carrots up here. Starting with some of these rows, we actually mixed in green onion and carrot seed when we planted. So we've got a mixture of green onions and carrots growing in these rows. And they're starting to perform a lot better. Now at the bottom row there we can see just green onions with no carrot seed planted there. So up here we've got the white carrots, the lunar white. And while there wasn't large quantities of them germinating and growing earlier, when it comes down to the end of the season here, they grow some really big, healthy looking carrots. We've got the beginnings of a chocolate mint establishment in this little section here. We've got plugs in and they are acclimating, starting to grow. A couple didn't survive, but they're getting a start. And here's some chocolate mint from an earlier planting from some ones that had grown up a little more into some pots, and they are thriving. They are definitely expanding and growing. We tipped a few tips over into the soil and those just all took root, and they're growing up now. So we're planning to do a lot of expansion with our mint, and there's going to be some special growing operations. We'll talk about that, some intercropping, combinational growing with the mint and other high productivity crops. Okay, so here we have in this upper section, the upper three rows are the solar yellow organic carrots. Look at the wonderful leaves on these carrots. These are really some of my favorites. The taste of the carrot, the leaves, the hardiness, the growth is amazing. germination rate and the growth. Up at the top we got tender sweet, and then these 2 rows down here are all thinnings from the solar yellow that first, of course, struggled a little bit, but I'll tell you, they end up growing. This is all thinnings here, no seed. It was all thinnings from the rows up there. This big row all needs to be weeded here now. Not today, not right now, but it soon. Oh, I just want to jump right in and do it right now. But so we got that full row of the solar yellow carrot transplants, thinning transplants growing in here. Urgently need to be weeded, and they're going to be a great crop. And then we had a partial row of them right here. And they are really growing well. They're maturing very well. One thing we've noticed when you do transplant the carrots, they can end up getting more of a snubby profile. The growth gets inhibited a little at the bottom with the taproot and all. So a majority of those carrots will look like this instead of a straighter, more pointed profile. They'll look more like this, but that's all fine. They're great carrots. And when you don't get coated seeds, it's hard to grow them sparse enough. We're perfecting the methodology on it, but you end up sometimes getting a higher density like that, and then you can do the transplant. Well, that's what we did. We did the transplanting, and I think, you know, for the price you pay for seed, well, you get so much more when you just get the raw seed and not the coated ones that can be planted at more predictable spacings. But you got to look and see how much more work is that going to be, and contrast that with your cost of seed, and you got to make your own decision. I mean, we're in the process of all that too, so we don't say any one way is better than the other. Things change as time goes on. Anyways, that's the carrot crop. A snapshot of our carrot crop this year. There's some growing at some other locations, over in the Sandy Flats, over at the Florida property over beyond there, but this is the bulk of the carrots this year.